Hi everyone, welcome to Storytime with Kate Meszaros. This is my first video for adults in which I'm going to be reading blogs from my website called Yoga Off the Mat. So the first essay I'm going to be reading is called I Am the Vortex. And to give you a little context, about 8 years ago, I went to Sedona, Arizona with a friend of mine in which I was able to hike through many of the vortexes in Sedona, one including Boynton Vortex, which is what you see in the picture here. When I almost didn't make it to this spot because it was scary and I was tired and we were climbing and I almost gave up. And my friend Sandy said, just 10 more minutes, you can do it. And when I did, and I made it to this vortex, it was an amazing experience. So this essay is about that experience, but also about the beginning of an 8-year experience that changed my life forever. So I'm going to be reading to you a blog called I Am the Vortex, and I will include a link to the actual website where you can read all of my blogs on yoga off the mat, and that'll be in the description below. So I hope you enjoy this. The opening quote is by Joseph Campbell, who said, "Follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls." Familiar with the old saying, be careful what you wish for because you might just get it? I learned a long time ago to let go of specifics when it comes to making requests of the unlimited universe. Before I figured out that to receive what I wanted often came with way too many strings attached, I struggled mightily with my limiting self-imposed perimeters. Yes, I may have been able to learn how to knit an incredibly intricate sweater, but in the end, when I tried it on, it still looked like a burlap sack. Sure, I may have gotten the job I thought I wanted, but didn't earn the salary and benefits I needed. I may have garnered the attention of some object of my desire, only to soon discover that what he really wanted was less than desirable. Still, if what Joseph Campbell says is true, that translates into an ever-evolving awareness of the intentions I put out in the world, because God knows that's what I'll receive in return. I'm all good with how karma works, both positively and negatively. In fact, it's easier for me to let go of circumstances I can't control by simply telling myself that in time more will be revealed, that whatever I'm struggling with now could mean I'm due for a little attitude adjustment. Perhaps I called it in because I need to look more closely at the way I live my life, the things I say or do. In my late 20s, I used to tell my friends, I want to have a partner, be a parent, and get published by the time I turned 35. When that didn't happen, no matter how many times I tried to push the river, I took a different tack. In my early 40s, having a child no longer appealed to me as it once did, so I focused on writing and left the door open for the possibility of a partner appearing in my life. You'll never find anyone hanging around your house writing books and teaching yoga, some friends would tell me. You need to get out and meet people. I don't want to, I'd always reply. How about internet dating? Someone inevitably asked. Been there, done that, I shot back. No, thank you. Last year, one of my friends sighed, well, Kate, you're going to have to do something different if you really want a relationship. How else are you going to meet a good man? Not deterred in the slightest, I replied. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to do what I love. I'm going to go to places that resonate with me. When I'm ready and when he's ready, he'll just show up at my door. How often does that happen? She asked, rolling her eyes. It doesn't matter, I replied. Just watch and see. Shortly thereafter, that's exactly what happened, although I didn't know it at the time. I spent most of my time writing, all the while working out, teaching yoga, reading books, meditating, gardening, and a host of other things that allowed me to create much needed balance in my life. I didn't think much about finding the one. I was more interested in staying open to whatever was right in front of me. In August 2016, I spent a week hiking in Sedona. On the first glorious morning, my friend and I made our way up the craggy sides of Boynton Canyon to find the energy vortex near the apex. As our planet is a living thing, a vortex is a place in nature where the earth is exceptionally alive and healthy. It can also be a place where there's increased energy and vitality. Acting as an amplifier, A vortex will magnify whatever we bring to it, whether it be on a physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual level. In other words, being in close proximity to a vortex is instant karma in action. When Sandy and I climbed higher, feeling the surge of energy in the red rocks of Boynton Canyon, I knew we had found the vortex. Standing on the precipice, I spontaneously opened my arms like a tuning fork and turned in every direction, marveling at the incredible beauty of the cornflower blue sky, a backdrop to the vast landscape that surrounded us. Breathing deeply, I silently asked that whatever I truly needed might be brought into my life, and that I might have the awareness to recognize and appreciate it. Then I said a prayer of humble gratitude for the opportunity to be in that moment, knowing full well that what I intended would magically appear. Little did I know it already had 6 months earlier, and that shortly after my return from Sedona, the little seed that had been planted in March would quickly sprout above the earth. Steve arrived in my life of March of 2016, and our friendship grew and blossomed throughout the summer months. The week after my return from Sedona, we made a date to attend a local concert together. 6 weeks later, I realized I was in love with him. How did we meet, you ask? I was sitting in my office, happily writing with the window open when he walked by with a mutual friend. My beloved didn't even need to show up at the front door, for it was clandestinely fortuitous to meet him while I was doing what I love best. Well, what I now love second best. So I decided to share this blog as an introduction to other essays that I will be writing this year. This was written in the winter of December of 2016. Steve and I had been together for a couple of months, and I wrote this because I realized that I was the vortex in March of that year. I didn't need to stand on the vortex to bring him into my life. We were together for 7 years and 7 weeks. And a year ago, this month, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And after a short-lived treatment, he passed away in January of this year. And so I'm working on a nonfiction story about our love story. I actually just came back from a trip in Sedona where I started writing it. And I'm starting to understand why he was in my life more fully, and sadly, why he had to leave. He's still with me. And this past trip, when I was up at the Vortex, there was a couple climbing up and they were a little nervous. So I kind of helped them find their way. And at one point, the woman asked me what I did. And I said, I'm a writer. And she asked me, what book should I get of yours? And I recommended Still Here. And she looked at me and smiled. And she said, you're still here, but so is Steve. So it's been a joy to share this essay with you today. Please like and share it with anyone that you would like. And I look forward to sharing more essays with you in the future. And until we meet each other again on our paths, have a wonderful day.